sad, doesn't he? So probably wasn't the best picture to put up. But anyways, maybe he's sad because there's no snow yet.
Or because Christmas is over.
Christmas is over.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, well, let's get started here. Building and grounds. I thought boys retired, I guess. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning. Am I live?
Yes.
Building and Grounds has no report as such this morning. We did not meet in December. Decided that with all the Mason Pointe activities and all the personal family activities, we didn't have time to meet. So our next next scheduled meeting is January the 16th. We'll be holding that schedule. I put out a tentative agenda for that meeting. First of all, Ken Stetcher will be replacing me in January. I've been on the committee now for 2 years. I'm sorry. Ken Stetcher will be replacing me in January after my meeting on the committee for 2 years. My recommended agenda is the first thing they need to do, well, Ken. The second thing they need to do is to select somebody to take the minutes of the meeting. The third thing they'll need to do is to decide who's going to be the new chairman of the Building and Grounds Committee. And I prefer to use the word team rather than committee. So the Building and Grounds team. And Dale will provide for us a brief review of those things that we talked about in November that we've been working on, and we'll continue to do that until we get them finished. And then we'll open the meeting for new items that your representatives may very well have found and need to bring forward. So that's the Building and Grounds report. We hope all of you had a great holiday season, and we'll look forward to New Year's. Question?
Not a question, statement. The fire doors seem to be open without being propped.
Okay. She says fire doors are open without being propped open. That would be good. We're not violating the fire code. Anything? Anybody have any other question? John?
There are two large trees in entrance 2, which is they're both about 40 feet high. They're dead. They've been there for 6 or 12 months. When will they be removed?
I can't answer that specifically, but they are on the list of things to get done with Building and Grounds. You brought that up before, and we've got them on the list
They're
of
quite an
actions.
eyesore for people that come to visit as prospective residents.
Right now, they look like winter. And when spring comes, they'll really look bad.
John, we are aware of them. It will be addressed.
Anything else?
Time schedule for that?
No, I don't. All right, we got the disco going. Okay, thank you, Royce. All right, employee appreciation.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I got good news. This will be short. The reason I'm up here is I have joined the REA committee, and I really enjoy the REA committee because we find ways to show appreciation to all the employees, no matter what department they're in. And I'm going to do a short recap of what we did last year. It won't take long. First of all, every time we have something for the employees, we always come up with some volunteers. Everybody is so helpful around here. It's amazing. And also, everybody is given monetary gifts, and without that, we couldn't do what we do. And thank you for that. So anyway, I'd like to go over some of the things that we have had for employees this year. And we did a good job, I have to say it. That's a little braggadocious, but it's a fact. At Easter, we gave away 74 grocery bags to people who needed it, and it helped their meals. And then in June, we gave away at the picnic, every employee, no matter what department, got a $25 gift card, which they all enjoyed and said thank you. Then later in the summer, when the weather was getting hot, what did we do? We brought an ice cream truck out, and nice enough, the managers agreed to let their employees go out and have some ice cream. And they enjoyed that. And then later in the year, in the fall, we had apple picking. People came and got bags of apples, and we had two or three ladies standing there with pies, slicing pies, letting them eat. Plus, the local truck came with coffee. So that was a nice treat for them. And then Thanksgiving, we gave away 242 pies. 3 days before Thanksgiving, the people came by, and Becky Zimmer got all kinds of people to help us do that. And the pies were picked up, and the employee said, I've never worked anywhere where people actually help me with things like this. It's wonderful, the things that we do here. And then the week before December started, Becky had another great idea. We gave away some red shirts to every employee. We gave away like over 200 of those to wear on Friday during Christmas holidays. It said on the back, you light up our life with Christmas decorations, and they enjoyed that. But then the next thing, to me, I just can't believe how much people enjoy giving a Christmas gift to the employees. And everybody was so generous this year. Every employee, no matter what department they work in, got a check, a Christmas check, extra check. You ready for this? For $391. Everybody. I think that was awesome. So that's our report, and we're going to have a meeting in January and February, try to do something different this year. And everybody here is so generous and helpful, and I say thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. All right, we're not going to have a food committee discussion or food discussion today, but Terry said she'll touch base in January. So, lifestyle.
Good morning, everybody. Oops, I'm sorry. And Mary is enjoying family here today, and
She's there.
she is here. Okay, she told me she'd be late. I'm sorry, Mary. Okay. Well, at any rate, I'm doing the job, I guess, for both of us today, trying to. A couple of things. First of all, I was asked by the staff to ask for a show of hands. If you might be interested in going to a movie theater off campus, would you please raise your hand? Don't know what movie it would be, but just if you'd like to get out and go to a movie theater, would you raise your hand? Okay, what is that, about 10 or, oh, I see, yeah, 10, something like that, 10, 15. Okay, thank you. On the activities coming up, and you know, we always have a lot of them, and this month, this color is our sheet. I hope you'll look at it. Right, Monday, coming up on Monday, Len Campanaro is back, and those of you who have been fortunate to hear Len in the past know he does a really good job. He's going to be talking about, I don't know how to pronounce it even, Siamongs, Takins, and Mangshan pit vipers, which sounds like snakes to me, so get ready, could be scary. We have the New Year's Eve party in the pub on the 31st of December at 6:30. After I finish here, I'm going to ask Denise if she wants to say a few words about that, as well as stages. Heavy appetizers with entertainment will be from 6:30 to 8:30. Let's see here. Lynn, and then we're going to the Science Center. I wanted to point that out, and coming up, that's on the sheet here. And as you know, every month we have a different color sheet, so we ask that you please look it over, mark down what you're interested in doing, and sign up. And importantly, please speak to Mary and I if you have something that you really think would be a good activity that we're not doing. We welcome your thoughts. Denise, did you have anything you wanted to add to us on, you did, I know, New Year's Eve and Stages season tickets? Did you want to say a word?
Yes, well, it's not a big deal, but I started to say. I know some people have asked me about Stages, and we do have a group of it. We have about 3 tickets left, or 3 more people want to buy season tickets on the bus. And as you know, we go on a Wednesday, and it's 3 times a year. And we go back and forth, and it's in Kirkwood. So I wanted you to know that was an availability. And as far as New Year's Eve, we have round tables. We're having the bar in the game room. Dinner is from 6:30 to 7:30, and Gus will be playing from 7:30 to 9:30. And we're just planning to have just a real good time. Everybody's to bring an appetizer, bring your drink of choice, or a snack for the table to add to it. But that's all I really have to say. Today, though, by the way, today, right here, as you see, I'm in my Missouri outfit, and today the Missouri Music Bowl is going to be held here at 1 o'clock, and we're going to all cheer for Mizzou, okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks, Denise, and unless there was anything else that I missed, Mary, thank you very much. Or was there anything I missed? Okay, thanks.
Unless there's someone from Iowa today. All right, wellness.
Well, happy almost New Year's. So our committee, as you know from last month, we did meet. We didn't take any time off, so I've got some things for you. Beth has come up with some really interesting things for January. First, I wanted to remind you, even though I mentioned it last month, about 2 support groups that have changed their schedules. One has changed, one will be changing, the caregivers and the grief support. So they are both at 10:30 in the morning, and they are both on the 3rd floor library, and those are both Tuesdays. It's just the caregivers are on the 1st Tuesday, and grief support is the 3rd Tuesday. Now, if you can't remember those dates, don't panic. It's on that colored sheet, and it's in Uniguest. So the events. This is going to be fun. The annual 21-day wellness challenge. If you remember that, we've done it before. I'm not going to give you the dates, but it's going to be on, I didn't write it down, Thursdays, is that right? Yes. Beth, Thursdays? Okay. It's going to be on Thursdays, the 21-day wellness challenge, starting on the 9th and ending on the 30th, 11 to 11:30, and this time in the theater. Now, if you're like me, I did the math on this, and I had to ask Beth, okay, from the 9th to the 30th is 22 days. So how's that going to work? Well, she explained it to me. It's actually that the 9th, the first day, is an orientation and an explanation, and you start that day. And then on the 30th, the 22nd day, you are done. But you go ahead and come to the theater. It's like a wrap-up and a last check-in and a yay, look what we did. All right, the next one is Know Your Meds, and this is from St. Luke's Hospital. 22nd of January, 3 p.m. in the theater. The next one is, hospice volunteer orientation. For anybody who thinks they're even slightly interested in volunteering, and that's all here for, people here on the other side, come to the orientation and find out. You might come and find out, I don't want to do that, but at least you came and you find out. So 23rd and 30th of December in the theater, 2 to 4 in the afternoon. Now here's a fun one. 24th of January, we've got chair volleyball. I know a lot of you like that. I might even try that one. That's 2:30, 24th of January in this room. The last item, and I'm wondering, does anybody know what biomimicry is? Oh, then you better show up for this. We have a biomimicry program. The guy's going to talk on it. It's going to be in the theater, 10:30, 28th of January. This is learning from nature how to solve human problems. So that could be pretty useful. All right, now I'm sorry, but since you didn't mention Nick Nardoni's visit, I'm going to mention it. Sergeant Nick Nardoni will be here to talk to us about fraud prevention. 20th of January, 3 p.m. in the this room. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see, where we're hook and needle.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a fun time for us with Hook and Needle because we get to tell you how much we appreciate all of you. We get to thank you for all your donations, for all your shopping. Since we opened, which was about I think it was 2021, about June of 2021, since we opened, we have contributed $23,850. And that means all of us. And that's all of you. It's taken all of us to do that. And I just want to thank Becky, who every month, when we hand over our dollars to her, she is very helpful and it gets assigned to the right area, which is the employee fund. So thank you very much. We are privileged to be able to work with other nonprofits, which really enhances our program. So thanks a lot. Anybody have any questions? Please feel good and give yourself a hand.
All right, library? Anything? No? Veterans? I know this is your spot.
Just very quickly, there's no veterans meeting in January. Just a reminder, we've said that before. So the next veterans meeting is at 9:30 in this room, the first Monday of February. And we're going to hear from Jim Bowden on his experiences in the Army. So next veterans meeting, February, first Monday in this room. And Jim's going to delight us with his experiences in the Army. Right, Jim?
Right.
Thank you. All right, welcoming committee. We just need to get Mary a chair up here.
We have not had any move-ins in December. But I would like for all of the new move-ins who moved in this year to stand up so we can give you a hand. Don't be bashful. Thank you, and I hope you feel like you've been welcomed. And if there's something we can do as far as answer questions or help you in any way, don't forget to ask. Thank you.
Anything from the workshop? Okay. All righty, let's start this. So as you remember last month, I've decided to start discussing one emergency preparedness each month, just to do a general overview. And I'm going to pull out of this here and give you all this little group cast tutorial as well, so you all are aware. Very sorry, wrong thing. I need my own tutorial. Okay, so you all can get into this. Everybody know that? And then you're going to community information. And then right here is emergency preparedness information. And the one that I will be discussing this month is, we did fire last month, we're going to do power outage. I figured it'd be a good time while we're in construction. You just never know, right, Dale? Okay, so the main thing I want you all to know about power outage. Here's what you can expect. This is what will operate for you. The community center elevators will be operational. That is on our generator. Is David Garvin here? No, okay. He told me, oh, is he on a cruise? Okay. He told me my pointer didn't work. No one could see my pointer, so I got this. Yep, see, I'm listening to y'all. Okay, so the sliding doors at the entrances, scheduled times, all of that is also operational. Your key card readers, all of that operational. Emergency lighting will take place in the corridors. The garage door will also work. Partial HVAC in community center. I don't know the details of that yet, but I'm certain that would be more common area kinds of things. I'll get a little bit more detail on that. And then a limited number of outlets located in the common spaces will be available. So those main functions will be there. The dining venues and food services will be inoperable, but we are prepared for a specific amount of days of being out of food. So we're not going to run out. We are prepared to be able to provide meals to independent, and as you guys are also providing your own things in your apartment. Apartment lights and appliances and heating and cooling, inoperable. Okay? Now, what I've experienced over my 30 years has been limited power outages. You know, a few hours here or there, that kind of thing. Under these kind of circumstances where there's a long-lasting power outages, we would make arrangements to do specific things like I've done in my previous life and community. We actually brought a generator truck in and we had to hook up that way, and it provided more services and more inoperables that we could hook up to the truck. So the elevators throughout the apartment buildings going to be inoperable. So you would have to use the stairs at that time. The elevator that I'm talking about is the community center one. Okay. Landline phones, anyone with a landline phone that's plugged into your wall outlet, that will be inoperable. And then cable television. Okay. So anything that you would plug into your apartment would be inoperable. So we don't have a generator for that, but what we have a generator for is those key emergency kinds of things. Like I said, I would not anticipate anything huge, but I've had this in my past where we've been out a full day and we've had to contact a company to bring in a large generator. Dale's familiar with those things too. So, all right, let me go down here. I don't think there's anything else on this. Okay, so that's, any questions on those specific things? So I would just be prepared in your apartment, have yourself a flashlight, a couple flashlights, those things that we all kept in our homes prior, just anything that you feel necessary for you to keep. Sue Allen, did you have something?
Yeah, last year, I think it was last year, when it got really cold and people were not being warm enough. Can you all hear me? No. No.
Okay, so last year, we had times when people were not getting the warmth from their heating systems. And we had the issue with our thermostats on that emergency heat category. And I was just wondering if new people knew about that, because in our neighborhood, we went around and people who weren't aware of that emergency heat setting. We worked on it so everybody knew. So I don't know if that, I don't know if it made a difference, but we made it, it was sounded like it did.
Yeah, we'll look into it a little bit more so we can get some answers on it. Yes, sir.
When there is a power outage, it will be a sudden thing. What happens to the people in the elevators?
Well, the elevators, once power is shut off, it goes to one floor, does it not, Dale? Yeah. It would be no different than a fire alarm. When those fire alarms go on, the elevators drop to the first floor and they are inoperable. Okay? I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility that the elevator gets stuck. I'm not sure. But we have processes in place to take care of that as well. We've had that.
Is the doors open on the first floor?
Yes.
What process is in place?
The process is we have elevator keys. The fire department has elevator keys. We have what we call a Knox box right outside of our doors where the fire department can open up this box and it has all of the emergency keys that they need to open any doors in this building, including an elevator that the floor is halfway with the door open. I've had that before as well. So, yes, John?
For people on the second floor who have motorized wheelchairs, who are out in the hallway when the power goes out, how do they get out of the second floor?
Well, they'll have to stay where they're at for right at the time. There's, I mean.
Community center. Community center.
Yeah, you get, well, there you go, thank you. Community center elevator. It was on the power outage information. That community center elevator works on our generator.
Is that the one that's opposite your office, or not your office, but opposite Dale's office?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one you
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, the next thing, Mason Pointe expansion. As you all can see, we've got a lot of things going on. There's an entire building that is currently gone, right? Pretty cool. So I wanted to talk about this. The expansion, I sent you all of this information in an email. Obviously, we're in a demo phase right now, okay? 1st of February, probably another 3 to 4 weeks, the demo phase will be over. And then I'll send you all out some information as to what's next. Obviously, you know, the footings and starting to build and things like that. This is a bit of new and good news. If you all aren't aware, your apartments are named after horses, right? So that theme has been here since the beginning. So some of you may be familiar with that Longview horse farm that's right off of Clayton Road. It's like 5 minutes from here. I think that was the reason, according to our marketing team, was the reason that we made those rooms in those apartments, those names. So what we've decided is we're introducing you to our 2 building names. So your building, the existing building that you live in, is now going to be known as, gotta get my other, Saddlebrook. That's very horse-like, right? Okay, no one's a horse. It's just, this has been the theme the entire time. The new expansion is going to be Canterwood. Okay? So, Saddlebrook and Canterwood. Where do you all live? Saddlebrook. It took me about a week to get these. All right, so those apartments and the new, sorry, I'm not going to say new, I'm going to say Canterwood, are also themed after horse did we say stables?
Breeds. Like the floor plates are named after.
Breeds, yeah, breeds, thank you.
All horse names.
All horse names, okay. What's in the new expansion? Trust me, I'd love to have more renderings for you. Still don't have them. We're at the mercy of the marketing team at the home office to get that to us. It's coming, but remember, we're 2 years away from opening this. So I know you all want this information, but just overall, we've got a wine lounge, sports bar. We are naming it Lucky's. Okay, and new dining venue, along with new courtyards, active areas, bocce ball, pickleball, and other things. There's some other ideas that we're coming up with outdoors that is going to be nice. Barbecue area with some spaces for us to have different events and things like that. So the main thing here is wanting to welcome all of you. This is all of our home. So whether you live in Canterwood or Saddlebrook, we're all Mason Pointe. So we're all coming together here. It's not the new and the old, okay? All right, so some residents have expressed some interest in transferring to Canterwood, from Saddlebrook. And I wanted to make sure that you all knew that you had first dibs on Canterwood. Okay? So, there will be the same transfer fee that it would be if you were to transfer now into one of the other apartments. All of that remains the same. The main thing that we want you to be aware of is that you have first dibs on any apartment in Canterwood. All right, so the key to this is if you want any information on this, pricing, all that kind of stuff, please see Kelly or the two Julies, and we'll get you started on that. Okay, so you all have first choice if you'd like to transfer over. So now, that's where we started, and this is where we're at today. So it's gone. Pretty cool. 2 weeks, they can do some damage. Here is the last wall coming down. This was right outside my office. And trust me, when that wall came down, it shook. So that was pretty neat. All right. Moving on to a few other things. Joanne's reminders, the IL access doors, I think that's still working pretty well with the new way of doing things. If you need any information on that, you can contact Joanne or contact Michelle at the concierge desk, and we can help you with that new access. Emergency forms as well. Sorry, what is this? RSV. Oh, the vaccine sign up is on January 22nd. So please RSV that. Call Joanne on that one too. Sounds like we've got a little activity coming to discuss scams and different kinds of things. I wanted to keep this on your radar as we get through this holiday. So that's why I kept it on. I'll take it off next month. So. All right, assistance in independent living. This has been a topic again this month. Just know, everyone knows and has seen Claire, see, she's modeling over here. She's our social service coordinator. Here's her number for anything that you all need assistance with. Any information, she's free of charge, yes. Right? Yes. So this is very important that we've gotten this process moving. And I want to share with you all, there was actually a community in the St. Louis area that got a slap in the hand from the Department of Health and Senior Services. They were providing protective oversight for independent living residents, and that's a no-no. And so what the Department of Health and Senior Services says is, if you're going to provide that type of oversight and do those types of medical procedures, then maybe we need to look at a different licensing for your building. Okay, so this is pretty serious stuff, and it's one of the reasons why I've really been moving towards a system where we can help you and get the care or information that you need to continue to be in independent living, but we are not going to provide that service and bring someone over from the other side in the AL or the care center or one of our IL employees to do specific care on our residents, because now we are providing protective oversight, and you can't do that and be in independent living. Okay, we can provide the information you need, we can provide the help in getting that kind of care or help that you need in the apartment, because you can still have that care. It's just we cannot provide that for you under our licensing. Yes, ma'am.
Specifically, which type of care? Just one specified example.
Let's say doing a wound change for someone.
Question?
She said specifically what type of care. Maybe it's doing a dressing change on someone. Maybe it's providing blood sugar checks on a daily basis for you. There's lots of things. All of those specific things, any kind of care like that, we are providing now you with additional help, and that's not what we do in independent living. So this is why it's so important for us to do this process this way. Yes, ma'am.
So if we did need in independent living some assistance, and we call Miss Claire, does she bring assistance to us in IL, but it's not considered oversight, protective oversight?
So I'm going to meet with you individually to find out a little bit about your insurance benefit. That can include health insurance, long-term care insurance, and I'm going to evaluate, is this something that is best directed to your physician? Do you need a doctor's appointment to get out to? Is it best if we bring someone into the apartment? If so, who's that person? Is it going to be a licensed nurse? Is it a caregiver? A physical, occupational, or speech therapist? We're going to look at how do we finance that sort of support. Is it something that maybe we already have a service under the roof and we just need to connect you to the right person? So maybe a chaplain. I also have started having a mental health therapist come. So for individuals who are having disturbances with their mood or anxiety, I can maybe bring someone to your apartment that can work with your insurance to help you get that kind of support. It's very individualized. There's no one answer that's right, but what my goal is to present all the options to you that seem appropriate, and you can decide based on your time here, your health needs, your financial situation, which option is the best. We may also loop your family, but my goal is to not call your family first to find a solution. I'm going to work with you, and then if bringing them in is the right answer, I'll do that. This number on the board is the main number for Mason Pointe. I have a direct number, and I have cards with me today. So I'd love to meet you if it sounds like something that you might need me. Let's meet today, okay?
Question. You're part of the staff, right? All right. Is your information on Uniguest?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And so I want to make sure this is quite different than us being available to help you in an emergency situation. If you've fallen in your apartment and we are aware of it, which goes back to, is the pendant pushed, those kinds of things, are we aware that way? And you're on the floor and you've got some pain or something like that, maybe you have some hip pain, we're going to call 911 for you, and we're going to stay there with you to make sure you're as comfortable as you can be in that event. So we're going to be there to help assist you in getting whatever you need at the time, but what we're not going to do is those things like picking you up, placing you in a chair, those kinds of things that we could cause more damage. So we're there to help you. We are there to oversee these things, but we cannot do those specific things ourselves. Okay? All right, thanks, Claire. Oh, yes.
Where's your office?
You won't be able to get to me. So she asked about my office. The best way to find me is to call me and I'll come to you. My office is in the tunnel underneath the assisted living buildings. I'll just add one more too. I've been working with some individuals who have experienced some cognitive changes, and I'm happy to sit with you. I'm trained to do a cognitive assessment just to identify if there's a disturbance there and can make recommendations on physician follow-up from there. So,
thank you, Claire. Yes, yes. COVID tests? So we have COVID tests for you to purchase, but we wouldn't provide doing that test for you. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that we can't talk to you about how to do it, but us going around and providing those tests for you, you would have to do it. We're independent. Okay? So, all right. Which kind of brings us into a similar topic, the volunteers, and those of you that are volunteering for us, we really, really appreciate it. It saves us a lot of time. It's very helpful. I think the main thing, this was brought up, was, what are we responsible for as, for instance, transporting residents in a wheelchair? And it really is just that. Transporting in a wheelchair and nothing more. Going to the assisted living community and wheeling a resident down to an activity or whatever that may be. But other than that, that's it. When you come back to the assisted living community, you're more than welcome to go take a resident to their room, but what we don't want is anyone transferring a resident out of a wheelchair into another chair or whatever. So the only job that we're asking that we really need the help with is bringing someone down and bringing someone back. That's it. We can't get into actually transferring out of chairs and into beds, and I don't believe that's going on anyways, but I just want to make sure we clear that up. And I talked to the team about that this morning too. And so really appreciate it. It's just bringing people down and bringing people back, and that's it. The desserts at our party were amazing, and wanted to add this slide with all of these residents here. I won't read them all off. There's 20, I think. But amazing. The table was full of desserts, and they were incredible. So thank you to all of you who provided this for us at our party. The party was amazing, and the dessert table was incredible. So thank you.
Wade, we were even able to have several trays go up for like overnight shows.
Yeah, so we had quite a bit left over, so we took those trays up to the floors, and the night shift employees used that, and it was great. So really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Questions? Any questions? Yes, sir.
Is Mason Pointe in a stable financial position?
Is Mason Pointe in a stable financial position? Yes, we are. If we weren't, we wouldn't be doing this large product or expansion. Okay, so will we be better in 2 years? Absolutely. because independent living is really where this market is going in a lot of companies and communities, is to have a higher amount of independent living apartments and enough assisted living memory support, and long-term care support to provide what we need for our residents in independent living here. So that model is really being copied in a lot of communities. In the previous company I was at, that was the reason why a single standing long-term care building was sold, is because we've got to get to where we have a higher amount of independent living apartments versus assisted living. So the short answer is yes, we'll be in better financial territory once we open up in 2026, late 26. Yes, ma'am.
What will better positioning in 2 years mean for the residents in independent living?
What? Okay,
We're going to be
repeat.
in a better financial position in 2 years. How does that transfer that better positioning, that better financial positioning to the residents that are here or that are going to be here? Will we have less increases in fees? How would we see?
Well, I hope so. So she asked, what this better financial picture looks like in 2 years. What does that do for me, basically? I hope. I think, we'd love to get to 4 to 5% increases. This year was 6%, obviously, which is substantial. So I would hope that we could get it to a 4 or 5%. What's coming in July or January, and we can keep it that way. I think it provides us the ability to continue with more and more amenities. Lots of technology that's coming, and actually coming to Mason Pointe this year in 2025. We've got a pretty significant information technology program coming to Mason Pointe, and that will be here in September. And we're really excited about it. It's really, without getting into too much detail, because I don't have all the details, but it's called Modernized Network, and we have the ability to bring our own TV in, which we have TV now, but we don't have to rely on Spectrum any longer. We'll have the ability to provide Wi-Fi to each individual apartment, and good Wi-Fi. We will actually run the program, which is a little scary, but on the flip side, it's very nice too, because then we have control, and then you all have someone to come to and say, hey, my Wi-Fi is not working. What's going on? Where if you have Wi-Fi through Spectrum or AT&T and all that kind of stuff, really don't have any control over that once you bring that to us. We're really at their mercy once we contact them. So those things are coming this year. So I'm really excited about that. It's a significant financial commitment to Mason Pointe for this, and we're really excited about that. So I'm hoping those types of things will be what really helps us in the future. So, yes, John?
I have 2 questions.
You've already had 3, so that's 5. Okay, you'll get 2 more.
Do the policies that you have described for us this morning, are they uniform across all of the Lutheran Senior Service facilities here in the St. Louis area, like Merrimack, Weston, Glebe Groves, and so on, or do you have an independence in your policies here?
No, I don't have an independent, he's talking about policies. Are they across the board at Lutheran Senior Services? Absolutely, they're across the board. So me talking about independent living and oversight, protective oversight, is something that all of the EDs in LSS have been talking about the last month because of this particular community.
Second question is, if the finances of Mason Pointe weaken and we die and you remit our entrance fee to our heirs, will LSS step in the event that Mason Pointe for some reason is unable to meet that commitment?
Well, LSS is Mason Pointe. We are Mason Pointe.
Who steps in, this is my question, who steps in the event that Mason Pointe is unable to fulfill the return of that capital investment?
I don't anticipate that.
I'm sorry?
I don't anticipate that happening. The LSS has been here 100 years. If we did not remit your entrance fees and those hypotheticals, we wouldn't be here long. So I would say don't worry about that. The company is financially strong. You know, these entrance fee refunds, they are put in a place that is invested. It makes money. It allows us to pay for construction projects. We're not taking that money and putting it in a risky scenario to where we're going to lose that money. So I think LSS does a good job of, you know, making sure that the investments that they provide and do gives that company the ability to remain in business for 100 years like this company. So please don't worry about that.
So the decisions on the investment of those funds are made by LSS and not by Mason Pointe.
John, I didn't come in here to make those decisions. I work for LSS at Mason Pointe.
At their behalf.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I just wondered, how soon do you repay the families after that? Somebody was talking about that and said it took quite a long time, and I just wondered, do you have any idea of that?
She was asking about the remittance of the entrance fees. It just depends.
It never takes longer than 6 months.
Yeah, it's within at least 6 months. It's 6 months or less, depending on if the apartment is sold or not. Right.
LSS promises it in their contract, 6 months.
6 months, yeah. So in your contract, it's 6 months. Within 6 months, for sure, you'll have it, or they'll have it.
Could you distribute copies of the annual report soon?
I don't know when the annual reports come out, but once they do, you'll get copies of it. I mean, annual report, I think, comes out every year, does it not? Okay. Yeah. By May? Okay. Every year by May, John, the annual report comes out.
It's distributed to residents or just put on the table somewhere?
It's distributed. Okay? Yes. Yeah.
Beth had a hot off the press this morning, and I forgot to mention it. The pool will be closed for maintenance until Thursday.
Good changes.
All right, thank you. We got one back. John.
LSS have a professional money manager, or do they manage the money themselves?
No, they have a professional money manager. They don't like our CFO and president does not do that work. They have a company that they work with, a financial institution. I'll let you know. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are we going to get new monthly cleaning day schedules for the year?
I assume, is Paul not in here? Okay. Monthly cleaning schedules? Yeah, we'll follow up with you and let you know. We'll send out, how about we send out a group cast to let you know? Sound good, Dale? Okay. We'll send out do you have email? Text?
He gave us a schedule that was in a plastic cover. It was very helpful.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that Paul's gonna do the same thing that he's done probably since he's been here. Has that happened every year since we've been here? Okay, so I would assume that that's gonna happen again.
Well, I need to
Yeah, but
know.
he's been here for,
20 years.
Before then, it was kind of in our handbook, but it was hard to follow up on it and things got changed. But since he's been here, we
for at
never-
least 5 years, right?
Yeah.
4? Okay. It's gonna be done exactly the same. I'll make sure that Paul knows that I can tell you right now the residents want that. So, we'll do the same thing. You'll get that scheduled. Okay.
I didn't get cleaning on 25th.
Okay.
So I don't
So-
know when my cleaning person is going to be there.
So, that's something that we can follow up with you after the meeting. So you wanna follow up with her? All right, anything else? All right. Yes, sir.
In addition to the LSS consolidated statements being made available, could you make available the operating statement for Mason Pointe?
Okay, we're getting into financials again. So, I will provide you what has been provided in the past. I'm not gonna get too detailed on all of Mason Pointe's financials, but, I'll provide what I can.
Wade, when we were looking to join, I asked that question to Kelly, and she pursued it with your main office, and that we would not get a statement just for Mason Pointe. It's LSS, not just Mason Pointe. So I assume that's what the policy is.
Yeah, probably. I'd have to look into it though. All right, any other questions? Not financial. All right, thank you all. Oh, one other thing. Speaking of finances, we have a new finance director. I don't know if you know him, but his name is Anthony. He used to work for Spectrum. LSS, I meant, yeah. So Anthony has moved into the director of community finance. He's very skilled in finance and has done that in his past. And when Stephanie left, he has now moved into that position. So once again, Dale is looking for another employee. So, all right, thank you all.
Yes, Ron said.
Yeah.